Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. I want to recognize and thank the World Affairs Councils, not only the one here in New York, but all over the United States, for the intense promotion of dialogue and participation of citizens in world affairs. Today was an important day here in the United States. This process, this electoral process, is calling the attention of most everybody, everywhere in the world. Marta and myself just came back from a trip abroad. We went to Madrid, then Jakarta, then Dubai, then Istanbul, working. The trip had to do with my new responsibility, the presidency of the Center Democrats International, which gathers over 110 political parties with center ideology, and from over 88 different nations, different democracies throughout the world. And I went to Jakarta to preside the annual meeting of the 20 political parties of Asia that are associated with the CDI. And I was highly surprised how open and wide today is the range in center ideologies, because the CDI used to be called the Christian Democrat International, but the word Christian now has been withdrawn, because some of those parties in Asia are either Muslim or Hindus or Mahometans, and I am very, very pleased that it's so wide open, the capacity to be working in a political party with a center ideology, with commitment with sound market economy policies, with intense commitment with human beings, with the dignity of human beings. But the case is that on that trip, everywhere, everybody was speaking about the election here. And I think it's to congratulate this mature democracy in the United States that over 200 years still is a renewal in every election. It refreshes, it brings back optimism, hope, and intense citizens' participation. I think that what is going on here is an example for other democracies, and certainly will have an impact and influence in different grades of consolidation in democracies throughout the world. There are many that are very recent, and they need this kind of example, this kind of events like we are witnessing here. So congratulations to these great democratic nations. I wanted to share with you some thoughts precisely departing from this election and maybe trying to look ahead into the future, especially the role of this great nation, which, by the way, I feel part of, which, by the way, I respect a lot and share the core values of the founding fathers of this nation. Maybe because my grandfather was born here, and that you will be able to read on the book, in Cincinnati, Ohio. And surprisingly, he came down to Mexico on a horse back in 1895 as a migrant without a penny in his pocket. He came all the way down to the state of Guanajuato in Mexico, and he settled there. He was, of course, after his American dream, and he found his American dream in Guanajuato, Mexico. And this is to say that we a lot of people most people share that dream and those values. And also to say that migration is a two-sided issue. It's a multilateral, bilateral issue. It's a phenomena that is present everywhere in the world. And it's surprising that very few nations, to say not one that I know, has developed a framework, a legal base, a project related to migration to make sure that it keeps being a win-win situation. No doubt that migration is an asset to most nations. We just have to see how this nation was built and developed by migrants. And most everybody in this nation, if you look behind, would have a heritage from migrants outside. And the same thing happened in Mexico. We all remember those huge amounts of thousands and thousands of Spaniards that came through the port of Veracruz, same as others came through the port of New York, through Ely Island. And same thing happened in Argentina or Brazil. So migration is an asset. And I'm, in a way, disappointed on the debate about immigration here in the States. I think that debate is totally misinformed, is misguided. It's maybe a product of the fear that I sense in this nation after September 11th. And that was a tragic day that should never repeat again. But still, it's not fair to confuse immigrants with terrorists. And fear will never be a good advisor to take decisions. And we see this vacuum, this empty space, because U.S. Congress has not faced the issue, has not reached a decision in years and years. And there is enough proposals, there's enough bills pretty well structured in Congress for them to decide. It is a federal issue. But with this vacuum, what is happening is that local authorities now are taking the lead and the responsibility on this issue. And some of them with reforms and changes that are very aggressive against migrants, that are real promoters of violating human rights. And because of the absence of U.S. Congress on this decision, the xenophobics have taken over. And we turn on the TV and you find there the lewd dogs, the rallies with a language very extremely aggressive, offensive to migrants, offensive to Mexico and to Mexican government. And again, I would say totally misinformed. So I think it's very important to enrich this debate that is going on right now on this electoral process. And I do hope, and I'm optimistic, that the next administration will take care and meet this challenge so that we have a reform on immigration. It will be to the better of our nations, to Mexico, to the United States. No doubt that this nation has enriched itself through migrants, and that has made its economy competitive through migrants working hard, with quality, with dedication, with loyalty. And no doubt that many sectors of the economy in the United States survive thanks to the migrants.